Coming up tonight, new at 11 on WGNX News. You ever wonder what $35 million looks like? Check it out. Plus, an inside look at the pet priority.
Stick around for late night fun with Dave and his guests. It's all coming up on The Late Show with David Letterman. But first, stay tuned for the latest local news.
Now, new at 11.
Who would run over a little girl and keep on going? Tonight, Jamia Sims' family speaks out about the suspect. Plus, he's back in the barn, but his master remains in a cartload of trouble. Also, how far would you go to save your pet's life?
WGNX News Tonight begins right now.
The public comes through to help catch the alleged hit-and-run killer of little Jamia Sims. Good evening. I'm Karen Greer.
I'm John McKnight, and this developing story tops our news tonight. A tip led Atlanta police to 46-year-old Shirley Hester. The suspect was arrested today. WGNX News reporter Kristen Lee has reaction tonight from her neighbors and from Jamia's family.
There's nothing we can do now to bring Jamia back. All we have is our memories.
But today's arrest does bring some peace to Jamia's family. For the past 3 weeks, they've had to look at the police markings in front of their home where Jamia was run down and know the person who did it and just took off was still out there. Police now believe that person lives just a few blocks away. Here, they arrested 46-year-old Shirley Hester. Neighbors can't believe she is the hit-and-run killer.
I feel confident that she's a good driver.
You don't believe she did this?
She said she didn't. And this is the United States of America. You're innocent until proven guilty.
Police were led to Hester through phone tips. People reporting that she drove an Oldsmobile Cutlass, matching the description of the car involved. Officers questioned Hester's neighbors about it.
Have I seen anybody driving her car besides her? I told them no, I hadn't.
Hester's family, in obvious grief themselves, refused comment.
I feel real bad for their family tonight. I know what we've gone through, and I don't wish that on anybody else.
Gwendolyn Sims says ultimately her family's healing will come from their faith and the support of friends. But this arrest helps them bring closure to the pain of the investigation. And a key to that case will be the car. Shirley Hester's neighbors tell us they didn't notice any damage on it, but police have impounded it. In fact, they did so, we're told, more than a week ago. John?
Thank you, Kristen. A $6,500 reward was offered for information leading to an arrest and conviction in this case. Police say if the information pans out, the tipster who helped them track down Shirley Hester will get the payoff.
A surprise plea tonight. The man who killed 67-year-old Billy Chapman pleads guilty, so he won't face the prospect of the death penalty. Mark Heald, the man in the hood, will be serving the rest of his life in prison without parole. As part of his plea bargain, he admitted stealing $1,000 from the Sandy Springs antiques dealer, then killing her and burying her body. 67-year-old Billy Chapman disappeared in January of last year. Her body was found in Harris County the following month. Heald was a business acquaintance.
New tonight, an accused serial killer who has confessed to the slayings of 2 women in metro Atlanta is on trial for murder in Alabama. In a Mobile courtroom today, prosecutors played a taped confession where Gerald Patrick Lewis described the rape and murder of a 22-year-old woman. Lewis has since recanted his confession. He's charged with the murder of another woman in Alabama and has confessed to killing 2 other women in metro Atlanta. Lewis recently led investigators in Douglas County to the body of one of his victims, a pregnant woman.
New political problems for State Senator Ralph David Abernathy III. His bid for re-election is in jeopardy. The Democratic Party was told state election officials Abernathy's $400 check for qualifying for the July 21st primary bounced. The Secretary of State is waiting on a decision if Abernathy's name should be removed from the ballot. You may remember Abernathy was caught with a quarter ounce of marijuana at Hartsfield Airport. He was censured by the Senate and resigned as chairman of a committee. It's being called the largest drug money laundering case in U.S. history. The 3-year-old undercover investigation resulted in 112 arrests and the seizure of $35 million in illegal proceeds from drug money laundering. This is the first time Mexican bank officials have been directly linked to laundering money for the Cali and Juarez drug cartels. The indictment, unsealed today, alleges officials from 12 of Mexico's 19 largest banks were involved in the schemes.
The city of Hapeville will pay $8.5 million to victims of a police officer convicted of molesting children. Former Officer Walter West was imprisoned 4 years ago. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution reports that Hapeville citizens may never know the particulars of the city's negligence for failing to act on complaints about the officer. Those complaints began 5 years before his arrest. Tonight, a popular Atlanta teacher cleared of an assault on one of her students is planning her next step, getting back to work in the classroom. Students, parents, and other teachers packed the courtroom to support Louise Toombs. The teacher at Venetian Hills Elementary in southwest Atlanta was arrested after allegedly roughing up a student. Ms. Toombs demonstrated how she was actually trying to break up a fight. The judge agreed.
So I'm going to dismiss the case.
You haven't heard half of it. I mean, you don't know the conditions that we have to work on in the schools, what we have to put up with from the children. And we're doing what we have to do to defend ourselves, which is nothing. We don't get anything.
Even the mother of the little boy allegedly assaulted said Ms. Toombs should never have been arrested. After 3 days of searching, the body of a 14-year-old boy has been recovered from Lake Lanier. Divers focused their search near West Bank Park. That's where they found the teenager's body today. The teen vanished on Saturday. He and 7 other fellow cadets were on a school outing. All were certified divers. The victim is from Shreveport, Louisiana.
Federal investigators were on the scene tonight of a chopper crash in a Chicago suburb. A helicopter nosedived into a neighborhood, killing the pilot and his 3 passengers. But the woman inside this house escaped unharmed. The chopper landed upside down and demolished the garage. A fire flared briefly, but neighbors put it out with a garden hose. The Air Force has announced its first successful test flights of the F-22 Raptor stealth fighter. The $100 million aircraft is built at Marietta's Lockheed Martin plant. It's being test flown at Edwards Air Force Base in California. The Raptor is designed to become America's frontline superiority fighter, replacing the aging F-15 fleet. It says the F-22 is the best aircraft he's ever flown.
General Motors has been ordered to pay $33 million in damages to the family of a 13-year-old Florida boy who burned to death in a 1991 gas tank fire. The Florida jury agreed with allegations by Robert and Constance McGee that the lack of a protective shield on their 1983 Oldsmobile Cutlass was at least partially to blame for their child's death. That wasn't the first lawsuit against the giant automaker. A Snellville couple sued GM in the death of their 17-year-old son. Thomas and Elaine Mosley settled with GM after their son's pickup truck was hit by a car and burst into flames. A jury awarded the couple $105 million, but the verdict was overturned. Saving the lives of young children riding in cars is the idea behind Operation Strap and Snap. Police and state troopers have launched a highway crackdown. They're looking for drivers who fail to strap their small children into child safety seats. It's part of a nationwide effort heading into the busy Memorial Day weekend to keep children riding in cars safe.
Speeding motorists on Georgia 400 are being targeted this week in Operation Click It or Ticket. This week, drivers who ignore the speed limit will do so at a cost. Alpharetta police say motorists go so fast on 400, they usually won't stop them unless they're at least 15 miles over the limit. But they plan to stop all speeders this week. A Gwinnett County attorney will find out tomorrow if he'll face animal cruelty charges for what he thought was a romantic idea. Bo Kay's Shetland pony was impounded after he used it to take his girlfriend to see the new Robert Redford movie, The Horse Whisperer. Today, he got his pony back. WGNX News reporter Shannon Walsh has his story.
It started out fun, it didn't end fun.
It ended today with Bouquet walking his pony out of the pokey.
It's really been embarrassing to me.
Kay was trying to surprise his girlfriend with a romantic pony cart ride. They tied the pony to a tree outside the AMC Theater and watched the movie.
Do you have a problem with that?
An officer and several customers did have a problem with it.
But he was verbally abusive.
Police say the horse didn't have any water. It was twisted up with the rope in pain, making lots of noises.
He said, just get out of my face and get out of here. You make me sick.
You know, we really didn't think that we were doing anything wrong.
Comanche. Come here, Comanche.
Bouquet and Michelle keep a field full of horses and hope people will understand.
We love these animals. If nothing else, these animals are pets to us. You know, it's obvious that they are given plenty of room to be in. They're fed, they're kept up. Luckily, we never have any problems with them, or else we would take them to the vet. We've got a good vet that we use. And we love them. We love having them. That's why we have so many. We don't need these. We want these.
I think people need to realize that certain animals are still beasts of burden. That doesn't mean you should abuse them.
And Kay points out using horses is nothing new in transportation. In fact, he said he had just seen a sign that day reminding folks not to use their cars because it was an ozone alert day. Kay says he doesn't believe he's broken any laws. Karen?
All right, thank you, Shannon. Police say in addition to animal cruelty, Kay could also face charges of animal abandonment and criminal damage to property for the landscaping destroyed by the horse.
A new solution to gridlock. Coming up later on WGNX News tonight, the chairman of the board's hometown holds a very special memorial in his honor.
Also ahead, some are calling it a miracle drug for breast cancer.
And up next, veterinary medicine is reaching extraordinary new heights. How far would you go to help your sick pet? Tonight, a special inside look at the pet priority.
I'm on the wheel, I'm on the wheel, I'm on the hey-yo, hey-I-yo. For our 50th anniversary, do something with a Land Rover Discovery that no one has done before. Make a $50 down payment to lease one.
Most companies that make canopies for our nation's jet fighters look to this oil company for a critical component to make them bulletproof. When it really counts, they seem to be the one to count on. With that in mind, what kind of gasoline do you think they'd make for your car? You'd be right. Citgo, when it counts.
They say no marriage is made in heaven, but ours is made somewhere very nearby. So for this, our 10th anniversary, I'll give you something really special. I'll mark this anniversary with diamonds and show you I'd marry you all over again.
The diamond anniversary band of a carat or more. A diamond is forever. De Beers.
This is Imagine TV.
Brad, I brought you up here in my Mercury to tell you something.
Yes, Brittany.
I'm carrying your father's child.
Wouldn't that be me?
Exactly.
Mercury Mountaineer makes keeping the family happy easier than ever. Get 2.9% financing plus $19.75 in total savings. Mountaineer offers loads of features like VA power, a versatile interior, and now an appearance group package at no extra charge. See your Mercury dealer today.
Till next time, imagine yourself in a Mercury. It's a drug thousands of Georgia children are taking, but how many of them really need it? In a WGNX exclusive, we search for the answers, and what we uncover could alarm you. The Ritalin Report, Tuesday at 11 on WGNX News.
New tonight, WGNX News has learned that the Portland School Board tonight voted to negotiate with Atlanta Public School Superintendent Dr. Benjamin Canada. You may remember Canada was in Portland, Oregon this month to interview for superintendent there. Earlier this month, Canada told WGNX News that he is happy here.
A new study shows prostate blood screening can sharply reduce prostate cancer deaths. And that tops our eye on your health and family. The tests detect prostate cancer in its early stages while it's still treatable with surgery or radiation. The study reveals over an 8-year period, the test reduces the number of deaths caused by prostate cancer by 69%. Researchers encourage men to begin testing at age 50 so the disease can be detected before it becomes advanced. An experimental drug is showing promise in the fight against breast cancer. Researchers say the drug Herceptin stops the spread of cancer. The drug attacks defective genes that cause the disease. It also slows down the growth of tumors in women with aggressive forms of breast cancer. Researchers say the drug doesn't produce the normal side effects such as hair loss and nausea. Herceptin may be on the market as early as next fall.
If your pet became seriously ill, to what lengths would you go to make him or her better? New advances in medicine are allowing veterinarians to do some incredible things. And tonight's Inside Look, WGNX News reporter Fred Powers visits the University of Georgia Veterinary Hospital, where the pet priority is the top priority.
It's surgery you would expect to find at hospitals like Grady or Crawford Law. Doctors perform abdominal surgery to find out why this patient has been vomiting and losing weight.
We'll keep her in ICU through the recovery, and then we'll probably transfer her back to medicine.
But look closely. The patient is a 4.5-pound Yorkshire Terrier named Fluffy.
We went in and got a biopsy of the liver, and we took biopsies of different areas of the small intestine.
It's just one of the advanced medical procedures, including organ transplants and cataract surgery, doctors are now doing on pets at the University of Georgia Veterinary Hospital. Here, a Persian cat is being treated for heart disease. The procedures done here at the University of Georgia are some of the most advanced in the Southeast. It's much like a human hospital. This is radiology. Down the hall, there's cardiology and dermatology.
The public is demanding more and more of veterinary care. They're more educated about their own health care, and now they're coming to demand the same things for their companions, their pets. Come here, Otis. Come here, big boy.
Otis just had double hip replacement.
A little bit sore whenever I extend it, but not too bad. A little bit. That's okay. You're fine. You're fine. Why don't you just lay on down, buddy? That's okay. That's a good dog.
His owners found him 3 years ago in a garbage can when he was a puppy and would do anything for him.
You've spent $7,000 out of your own pocket for Otis.
Right.
Why do you do that?
I don't know. He just loved the dog, just for who he is.
It's okay, Gretchen. Stay.
Doctors do everything they can. Gretchen, a 5.5-month-old black lab, was hit by a car. Several pins now hold her leg in place.
Hi, baby. You're walking better.
Her owner is seeing her for the first time since the operation.
They've done a really great job, and she seems happy, and she's ready to go home, and I'm ready to have her home. I've missed her, so I'm excited.
It'll be a little slow going for Gretchen, but thanks to the care at the hospital, she and thousands of other pets get another chance.
I'd do anything for her. She's great. She's my best friend.
The University of Georgia Veterinary Hospital also sees large animals. Right now, they're treating a llama for a urinary tract infection and a Vietnamese pot-bellied pig for brain cancer. Karen?
Unbelievable. Thanks, Fred. Unlike human medicine, veterinary medicine is rarely covered by insurance.
Well, they do wonderful things there, but
yes.
Did he say $7,000?
He said $7 grand.
Well, that's a heck of a pooch. John joins us now looking for some rain.
Looking for some rain. We're 8 days now dry, and I bet there's some sprinklers that are going to be running over the next couple of days, because, friends, I don't see any rain in the forecast for quite a while. Take a look outside the WGNX Weather Center at this hour. Partly cloudy skies, 75 degrees, a dew point of 64, gives us a relative humidity of 69%. Southeast breeze at 3, and our barometric pressure is on the rise. Our high today, 84 after a morning low of 64. That's 4 above the normals of 84 and 80 and 59. There's your record high, record low, sunrise and sunset, and that's for tomorrow. And temperatures right now around the region anywhere from 70 degrees over at Athens, where Fred was, 76 here in Atlanta. Down at Griffin, 76 degrees. Up in Cumming, Georgia, 72 degrees, 72 at Rome. Still got an 80 at this hour in the state, but there's no heat index at this hour. That's a really, but we've had our first hot weekend in Atlanta, so maybe it's time to remind you what the heat index is all about. You heard the old expression, it's not the heat, it's the humidity. Well, actually, it's both. The heat index is a combination of both of those factors, what is actually called the apparent temperature, or what it actually feels like. Good analogy is wind chill that you get in winter. Well, this is heat index that we get in summertime. Look, anywhere from a heat index of 90 to 104, and you're talking sunstroke, heat cramp, cramps, heat exhaustion, some real problems. And here's how the numbers work. A temperature of 85 and a relative humidity of 60%, like we had last Saturday afternoon at 320, gives you an HI, or heat index, of 90 degrees. Or here's some more. 90 and 65 add up to 100 degrees. That's enough numbers for now, but the bottom line is, when it gets real hot outside, you take it easy, you drink lots of fluids, and be very smart. Make sure you do your activities early in the day or later in the evening. And look, there are still heat indexes in the hundreds down here in Texas tonight. 80